Doing something a little different. Sitting on the ground because I left my tripod at home, and it's a little windy today, and my lavalier's dead. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here today, but we're doing so with this guy over here behind me. That is a 2012 Mini Cooper S. She's got about just under 40,000 miles on it. And I've had a moment to drive it. Take it down a twisty road or two, drive it on the freeway, drive it around town. I got maybe 50, 60 miles in it. And so I just wanted to discuss what my thoughts are on it. I like it. You know, this is the first time I've spent kind of any appreciable time in one of these Mini Coopers. And I have to say, I get it. I understand it now. Is it super fun? Yeah, it is. It's super fun. It's not super fast. It does the slow-ish, quick-ish car fast thing very well. It's sporty. It's sprightly. It's tossable. It's kind of all the cliche things that when somebody talks about a car that's got 181 horsepower and is under 3,000 pounds and comes with a manual and has a short wheelbase. It's kind of a winning recipe. It has been for a long time. One that there's not a lot of right now. The hot hatch is kind of getting killed off left and right. This is a 2012 model. When this was around, you can get your Focus STs and your Fiesta STs, and of course your GTIs. Veloster. This is probably more akin to a Veloster Turbo than something like the Veloster N. But yeah, hot hatch. Dying off. This is an excellent one. You can still, of course, get a Mini Cooper. But I think this is kind of the perfect size. And that's why you would buy this car. A, you want a hot hatch. B, they don't really hold their value all that much, and which means that you can buy one with, this one again as under 40,000 miles. It's just about 10 years old. It's in excellent shape. It's very well spec'd. And, what's it going to sell for? Probably $15,000, probably right around there. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I guess we'll see. This one is going for sale. But as to the question of why would you buy one of these, I think it's a great alternative to, a city car. If you need something small and parkable, I think this is, but still fun. It kind of fits the middle ground between something, a city car, so like a smart car, or a Scion IQ for some reason, or a Fit or something like that. But it's being far more fun. Really the only competitor I can see to it is outside of the Mini world is something like a Veloster Turbo, and that's kind of it. Maybe a GTI. GTI is a little bit bigger, a little bit more practical. But this thing is good. It's put together pretty well. There are some bits and pieces of the interior that I don't love. There are some hard plastics that you look at somewhat sideways and they'll creak and they'll whine and they'll rattle. You open the door handle on the interior will creak and just make awful noises when you open and shut it. That stuff is kind of annoying. But if you can get past that and you are prepared to put a little bit of effort in as far as maintenance and repairs, I think it's totally rewarding and I think it's totally worth it. Again, reasons not to buy it, well, kind of that stuff I just said. If you're a little bit concerned about having to do some repairs and a little bit more maintenance, this is a BMW product. While the parts aren't quite as spendy and costly as something as, an M3 or something of that ilk, it will still need a little bit more care and feeding than, a Toyota or Honda product or things like that. But it's more fun than a Toyota or Honda product. Any of the prior generation, couple-year-old, Civic SIs, probably somewhat comparable as far as the drive of this thing. This thing does change direction probably a little quicker. But the trade-off is, again, the care and feeding and maintenance and potential repairs down the road. So if you can look past all of that, I do think they're a pretty good buy. I think they're a lot of fun. You got to be kind of into the Mini look. That is the one caveat. I think they look pretty good, but I can understand if you just look at it and go, oh, it's too like squatty, little terrier-looking kind of dog with a bone kind of look, or perhaps a little cutesy. I can see, depending on the color combination and stuff, maybe you get a little bit too much of a, a cutesy retro vibe. But if you don't care about that kind of thing, you want a hardtop, you want a two-door, you want something that's small and parkable and is a good city car, but isn't just a complete appliance and is a little bit fun, grab one of these with a 6-speed manual. You're going to be in good shape. If you want to do the John Cooper Works thing and pay the premium for that, you can. I'm not really up on my aftermarket. I know there is a pretty significant aftermarket following for these cars, so perhaps you can pick up a car like this, which is just simply the S model, spend a couple of dollars on it to get that 25 extra horsepower that you get on the John Cooper Works car, and you're kind of in the same spot. But it is kind of nice to have the John Cooper Works goodies and the nameplate and the resale value thereafter. Long way to say, I like the car. I think they're cool. I never really got it before, and now I've driven one, and it's like, okay, now I haven't lived with it every single day, and that's the trade-off that potentially you're going to make again when purchasing a Mini versus purchasing a Honda or Toyota product. But if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to put up with some of that potential headaches down the line, I think you will be rewarded for it. And I think they're a pretty good buy because they don't hold their value as much as some of the other stuff.
Behold, parts. And look, still even have the protective film on those latches there. We have, this is, I believe, an OEM air filter. Looks like there's another one. Yeah, that's what that is. Another air filter. A turbo heat shield. I don't know if this is OEM. And somebody pulled this off. I don't think it is. That looks aftermarket to me. So we got an aftermarket heat shield. There's some additional literature with the, all the stuff you bought new. It does have another window sticker. There's, what's in here? All kinds of stuff. So that's additional literature. There's another air filter. We've got a strut tower brace. So this is an aftermarket strut tower brace. I don't see who makes this guy. And then there's little end pieces there that go on the tops of the strut towers. And then I also noticed Hotchkiss Sport suspension. I don't know if these are rear trailing arms or what we got here. I will find out though. I haven't poked around the suspension of a Mini. It looks like a real rear trailing arm to me. Perhaps it's adjustable so you can, adjust the caster back and forth, perhaps? I don't know. I'll figure that out. And I think this is the original antenna, because we've got this little shorty guy on there right now. So here's the original antenna. All of this will be included with the sale of this car. Everything must go. And then what's in the box? As Brad Pitt once said, oil filters, 4-pack. OEM oil filters, that's really cool. 1 sats. So, oh, and a book. Mini Cooper Service Manual. Openly. Always coming to help. So that's pretty cool. So whoever ends up with this car, it's not just going to get a car, they're going to get some goodies.
So, why buy? You want a small, fun, parkable car. That's kind of what it comes down to. That's really all I've got. I do have another video with a tour of this specific car. I would recommend checking that out the moment that it drops if you are interested in buying this car, because this one is going to be for sale. It is not mine, it's a client of mine, but it will be on Cars and Bids, so check it out there. Do all of the button mashing for YouTube, if you want to pick that up and see when that one goes live, that's going to be the notification and the subscribe and all that fun stuff. Comment if you wish. Feel free to start angry arguments in the comments too. Do whatever you want. But that's kind of it. Thanks for letting me ramble about this car for a minute. Catch you on the flip side.